Hello and welcome back to Fujitsu Forum TV. Fujitsu Forum 2018 is well underway. The 12,500 business leaders traveling from more than 80 countries. They've been flying through the doors downstairs. They've come to understand what co-creation for success looks like. It's the theme of this year's Fujitsu Forum. They've got keynotes, breakout sessions, an exhibition hall to look forward to. It's all about surfacing the key challenges that are taking place within businesses right now and helping boardrooms understand the very conversations they should be having. We're talking co-creation for success next. Fujitsu Citrix is a partnership that's long-standing and it's delivering great success for customers. Joining me to help us understand what's going on is Chris Fry, Masako Takagi and Annette Kuhn. Thank you all for joining me this morning. I know that Fujitsu Citrix, you're working on a cloud project at the moment. Can you just help us understand what's going on and how you're benefiting the customers?
So, well, we have a very strong relationship in this case with Citrix over a long time, so that helps us to bring together our values for the customer. We are looking after the pain from the customer, what they want to go to the journey in the cloud. So this is what is our value to work together for it, that we have a long experience for the customers and we look deep in what they need to go to cloud or to change their strategy.
And we help that change to become more successful, bring it into production, into useful value sooner, and help the customer maintain agility and compete with its competitors by a faster and more efficient delivery of the services they need to consume.
And in co-creation, this event's title is perfect to describe our partnership. Because Citrix, we bring the technology to enable the digital transformation, and Fujitsu brings the kind of the process behind it and to implement it, and from customers' point of view. So both companies coming together, we co-create the value for the customer to transition it into cloud and in digital transformation.
I think there's a lot of boardrooms globally that know they've got to probably move into a cloud solution, particularly for the bigger enterprise businesses where they could have upwards of, say, 100,000 employees. I imagine the chief executives are a little nervous about going from on-premise to cloud. I don't want my business to be impacted. Is that a valid concern, or is that no longer an issue for businesses?
I think that's a valid concern for many of the C-level executives. But that is why we partner with somebody like Fujitsu, who can help through that transformation, because it's not just adopting the technology and going digital. There's a journey that goes with it. And they bring the expertise to make it possible. So yes, there's a transition, and transition doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go 100% cloud tomorrow. You can have a transitional plan where you can migrate part of it or part of the users or some specific application onto the cloud and keep some things on premise. So you can have a hybrid solution, and then those things we can together, the Fujitsu is an expert in coming up with a way to take the company forward in that direction.
Yes, totally agree. So we are perfect in this way because the customer, the decision, it's there. So to move to the cloud, it's next year, in 2 years, never know. But you have to think about what is your cloud strategy. And this is where we can help together the customers to bring these pieces and this thinking about the journey to the cloud. So because when you are working in an IT company or you're working in an IT department, so it's really a bad question. What's happened next? But we can help the customer to think how easy it could be for the customer to move this way. So therefore we have a lot of examples with our other customers, together with our customers, to think about how we want to go together this way to the cloud.
Co-creation for success being embodied then. I think a valid point, it's not just the technology but the behaviour change that has to happen within an organisation so that your investment and migration then tangibly lives on within the organisation. There's a lot of buzzwords in industry right now. Digital transformation, I don't think you can look at any publication of any form without seeing digital transformation written. Enabling a digital journey is another of the finer buzzwords. But the cloud really does enable the digital journey, isn't it? Is it just hype, or are we at points now where cloud has a key role to play in the digital journey?
It definitely does. I mean, it's not just the buzzwords. It's a business practicality. You know, it's removing complexity, delivering change in a way that the newer consumers. Another digital thing is people are born digital. So a lot of people coming into the workplace are used to consuming services and applications and data in that way. So it's a transition. It's an evolution. It's once you get over the buzzwords, it's just a progression into doing things in a better and more consumable way.
What about the return? So if, for argument's sake, I'm a CEO, I make the decision that my business, we need to migrate to the cloud, it all stacks up. How quickly am I going to see a form of return in my business, whether that's productivity, efficiency, bottom line? How quickly can that happen?
Well, typically in our long association with Fujitsu, with an on-premise delivery, you could be looking a phased implementation over months and years. With the cloud, we're looking to move that into weeks and months, into a real live delivery, because you don't have to go through the same testing, the same proving ground. So you're bringing forward not just the cost benefits, but the service benefits as well. So it is a real benefit to any board member looking at starting that journey.
And one of the things that that digital, the investment that the companies make, the way they see return is by employee retention. So the new generation work differently from the people who started working going into the workforce 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They're used to having everything accessible. If your cell phone, it could be a cell phone, or it could be a tablet, it could be PC. They want to be working from anywhere, anytime. And when the employees are satisfied with their working as an employee, because everybody comes to the company thinking, I want to do a great work, right? Nobody comes to the job thinking, I'm just going to do mediocre. So when you empower the employees to be able to do their work in a best efficient way, the way they choose to work, then you see the retention, and then happier employees produce 2x more revenue and 4x more profit than the company that has less happy employees. So there's some data already there that says that employee retention and satisfaction result in the customers, the customer satisfaction.
So one point I think should be interesting for the decision as well is the security thing. So when you think to go, what can we do with cloud? Is it available for us or not? You have to think about the security thing. And this is important as well. We are working on, together with Citrix, Fujitsu and Citrix, to work on the security side, to give the customers a good feeling when they go together in the cloud. So what is about my data, as you mentioned, what's happened behind, because cloud, you can't touch it.
There's 2 interviews coming up that resonate with those last 2 points. There's a security interview at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. $610 billion is being lost to cybersecurity at the moment. CEOs can no longer afford to ignore the issue. And up next, the research that you were just talking about, Masako, we're actually going to be revealing what the findings of the research are. And the Workplace Anywhere interview, what time are we at? 9:10. That'll be 10:30, so in a little over 20 minutes' time. Final question for you all. There's a lot of business leaders watching this. Fujitsu Forum TV is about sort of helping address the issues that they're facing right now. If you had one question for C-level operatives that are looking at what you've just said and thought, okay, this is resonating with me, if you had one message for them, what would it be?
Come and talk to Citrix and Fujitsu together. We can find a solution.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much for your time this morning. I know you've all got busy agendas here at Fujitsu Forum TV, Fujitsu Forum 2018, I should say. On Fujitsu Forum TV, God, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? 2.5 days of broadcasting. I'd slip up at one point. 2,500 people have come through the doors downstairs. They've come to understand the key business decisions that are being faced with in boardrooms, but more importantly, the innovations that are impacting those issues. Co-creation for success, as you will hear at 11 o'clock in the opening keynote. It delivers on so many business challenges. Thank you for your points this morning. Up next, we've got the Workplace Anywhere interview. The research that we just referenced, it's been looking at employees across Europe and what they want from a future workplace. behaviors are changing, demands are changing. How does that influence the buying decisions we have to make with technology? Well, we're speaking to both Fujitsu and Citrix in about 20 minutes time. Hopefully you can stick with us for that. More to come from Fujitsu Forum TV.